Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. I had some logs. What I did, Matt, was I set up an outdoor shower. Yeah. So I had logs going across the top, and those logs were easily 200 to 300 pounds. Well, about a week later, I woke up one morning, decided to take a shower, and the logs were tossed 20 yards. All 4 of them were tossed. Nothing can pick up those logs and just toss them like that. And
you were sleeping here that night, or you were?
Yeah, I was.
And so it did this in the middle of the night?
It did it in the middle of the night. This is a week later, after the screams that I heard from the meadow. So it really caught me off guard. And when I looked, I said, "That's not a bear. That's not going to be a mountain lion." And I just thought to myself, "Wow, just incredible. How could something pick up those logs from here and toss them like that, like they were nothing?"
And so you were certain it had happened that night before?
It happened a week after the yells, but it happened the night before as I was here in my cabin tent sleeping that night.
Okay, and how far up was the cabin tent?
The cabin tent is not very far from here, Matt. It's just right over there. As a matter of fact, it's about 20-25 yards from here. So.
Okay, all right, let's check that out. I want to see how far away that is.
All right, let's do that.
So the scream report, can you tell us more about that?
Sure. That night, myself and Big River, nothing out of the ordinary, went to bed at 10 o'clock as usual. Everything was fine. We had our nightly night birds that are visitors. We had bats that we usually have that come in at night. About 1 o'clock in the morning, Big River, who's once again my hybrid wolf dog, starts to do circles in the tent. He starts doing circles in the tent.
Is that normal?
No. So I kind of got up and, told him, "What's up? What's going on, Big River?" I thought maybe a bear or a mountain lion, something of the sort. Did I ever think I was going to hear what I heard.
And what exactly did you hear? Can you describe it for us?
Well, it's a deep, deep roar with a high-pitched scream. From the bottom of the gut.
And did it last a long time?
It lasted.
Wait, where was it? Where would you come
Well,
from?
no, let me tell. Okay, well, it's right over that way in the meadow, about 200 yards from here, which is right up that way towards the meadow. But let me tell you, that pitch was so loud, so eerie, that it bounced off every tree. It bounced off the ridges, and I said, "That's not a bear." And I said, "That's human-like. What's the other half?" And the first scream stopped, and Big River is still doing circles. Then the second scream started, because we had 2 screams.
Were they the same? Did they sound the same distance from each other, or was it?
They sounded exactly the same distance, the same pitch, the same length, which was about 20 seconds.
That's a long time.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, there's no bear, no human, no cat, no mountain lion that has the lung capacity to put out such a high-pitched sound.
I understand that you've also led bear expeditions and things like that, so you're actually in tune with the sound of bears and mountain lions, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I guide bear hunts.
And this doesn't sound like anything you've ever heard before.
Never ever heard it before.
Have you heard mountain lions before?
I've heard mountain lions, and mountain lions can really put out a high squelch.
And you've heard that, the mountain lion scream.
Right.
It actually sounds like a woman screaming, terrified.
Exactly.
With the greatest capacity scream that you could possibly imagine.
Exactly.
So that night that you hear these screams happening, did you smell anything? Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
No, that night I did not actually smell anything, Ray, because after the episode of the screams had transpired and were done and over with, I told Big River, my hybrid wolf dog, "Let's go outside. Let's go outside." He would not go outside.
Okay, so you were camped up here for 5 months.
Correct.
And you slept here every single night.
That is correct.
And would you go to bed around the same time each night? Was this like just after sundown, or?
Pretty much, usually around the same time. It would be anywhere between 7 and 9 o'clock at night.
Okay. And what were the months? When did you start this 5-month period?
We started in May. Due to the fact that, once again, I'm contracted through forestry to be a fire spotter up here. So they started from May to October, September, October, and so we started off in May that season.
And Matt, traditionally in this area, that is the fire season.
Yeah.
So they actually open the fire watch towers at the same time. So this would coincide with all the efforts to watch for fires in this area.
Okay, and what month did this happen?
August. That would be August.
Okay. So, in that time that you were up here, you were spending most of your day here around here too.
Right. Right.
What time in the morning would you wake up?
I usually woke up at sunrise. I mean, we're looking at 6:30. You know, during that time. Actually, it's summertime, so it's it's a little earlier, about 5:30.
So around sunrise.
Yeah.
And you would get out of the tent.
Get out of the tent, do my daily thing. Not a big deal. You know, go to the outdoor shower, cook some breakfast.
How many times when you got up in those 5 months, how many times did you see deer around here?
In this area, immediate area, I wouldn't run into deer.
You would you get out of your tent and in the direction where you'd look, you hadn't spotted deer in 5 months.
Not in this area. Okay. Only up in the backwoods, just a little bit. Not too far from here.
Like how far?
I'd say about 100 yards.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's close enough. That means that they'd be passing through here. Because I'm trying to figure out what's the attraction, and if it's trying to shoo you out, what's special about this place that it wants to, hold dominion over, and it wants you out of the way. And,
right.
And I think the answer is what it is everywhere else. It's wherever the deer are flowing through.
Right. Right.
And Matt, when we came up here, there was some very big springs and a lot of moisture and water in those areas where the meadows were very green.
I noticed that. Yeah. So there is water for deer. But is there a place where we can get a view, a good perspective on everything? Because I see what looks like good view spots.
Yeah. So actually, when I was doing the research when we came up here, there's a spot not too far from here. We can actually look over this entire valley.
Oh, really?
Yes, I can take us there right now.
Which way is it?
It's going to be right up this way.
All right, let's go. Let's
All
go.
right. Here's a spot.
Oh, wow. So that's Gorgonio.
Yes, that's San Gorgonio, Onyx Summit to the left. And if you look down there in that river bottom, that's the Santa Ana River.
That's the headwaters of the Santa Ana River.
Absolutely.
That goes through Orange County.
All the way to the ocean.
Awesome. Wow, look at that big basin. I've never seen it from that perspective because I've always come up 38 to go to Big Bear.
When you're doing that, you'd be in the bottom of that basin looking up, so you wouldn't be able to see how expansive it is.
And so then further over the top, that's Palm Springs out that way.
Palm Springs, 29 Palms.
This looks like the way that probably deer would come up out of there. Do you think the Squatch would come through here too?
Yeah, that's pretty much how I'm looking at it. So that's amazing that you bring that up.
Wow.
Matt, you would be interested to know that from that area he's talking about, we have quite a few reports of activity, both residential, a couple of road crossings. There's a lot of activity down there.
You see, what's amazing about it is I knew there was stuff over there. I knew there was stuff over here. I wondered what way they came up, and I thought they'd have to, of course they can climb up real steep stuff, but I knew they wanted to follow deer, and I couldn't see how deer, unless they were going to go real steep. But now I see. The deer can trot right up through here.
Absolutely, and it's not just deer. We've seen all kinds of stuff today. We've seen ground squirrel. We've seen lots of birds. There's so much life up here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it is almost sundown, so we'll head out of here for now. We don't want to intervene or interrupt in case there is deer or anything moving up here.
Right.
But this is an amazing place. I didn't know that this canyon was here and that there was trails and stuff going all the way down connecting these two areas.
Robert, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much for having me, Ray.
Thank you for
Matt,
taking the
thank
time
you
out.
so much, sir. My honor to meet you, and
Oh.
I had a good time, guys. And thank you for the interview. I greatly enjoyed it.
Well, we really appreciate you taking the time out to submit the report and bring all this to our attention.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And we'll be calling on you when we're going to come back up in this area.
Great. I'm ready for it.
Very good.
All right.
All right, let's head out. Oh, wow. Skunk cabbage.
Yeah, there's a lot of springs in this area. There's a lot of water here, and it's a lot different than the arid place we were earlier. This place has got water. There's a lot of wildlife.
Yeah, because those kind of plants only grow where it's soggy all the time. It's so dry around here usually. So this is how many meadows like this are around here?
There are a few. They're spotted through the area. I mean, you can drive through and see one every 3 or 4 minutes.
Wow. Okay, so that means up at the top. See, that's what I didn't know. I didn't realize that unless there was a running stream like a deep creek or something, that there would be water areas. But this is all that skunk cabbage. That's wet. So Is there puddle? Is there like open water here?
Yeah. Yeah, if you were to go through there, what you'd find is not only that soggy ground you're talking about, but there's pools of water where these springs are coming up at, and there are some areas where it's actually a trickling spring.
Oh, great. Because deer in these mountains, they're going to need to come to a place like this, and there's probably deer that hang around here, especially in the summer.
Right.
Because they get out of the heat. We're at the top right now, and so everything will come up to the top. And usually they don't want to go to the top unless there's like a snow line of melting snow. But this is the answer. This is what would bring the deer, and this would bring a Bigfoot around and explain why there would have been a scream that guy heard.
The other thing that's important to remember is this is the month of July. This is the middle of summer, and this is still this lush. It only gets better as you get closer to winter.
Awesome. Yeah, so that means it doesn't all dry up here.
Right, it doesn't. This will stay like this all year.
Oh, fantastic. All right, well, let's go check out another one.
All right, cool.
All right, dude.
So while the areas we've seen so far look pretty arid and pretty dry, areas like this are spotted all over the place. There's lots of natural springs, lots of water that create the greenery that you're seeing behind me, providing lots of food for smaller game and for deer, which we know are a food source for Sasquatch. The Bfro investigated Robert's claims of hearing screams he could not identify and his outdoor shower logs being tossed about. The team went through the area and found it to be arid, high-altitude woodland, interspersed with meadows that were full of water, skunk cabbage, and places suitable for small game and deer, all of which make it a Sasquatch-friendly environment. Robert's particular encounter would be considered a Class B in the Bfro database.